Welcome to the Retiring Club. My name is John, and I will be your host for this meeting. In this meeting of the Retiring Club, we're going to be talking about our taxes. As a newly retiree, as of September 26th from Morgan Stanley, when I go into next year, there will be no W 2 income. And I will be taking what I call a distributions from my retirement account. Specifically, it's going to be coming from an IRA, as I am 63 and 9 months pretty much of age. The 401k, the funds have been released from that. I've actually got that all earmarked to make purchases on the next down market. I'm just going to wait because things are going pretty well. Um, so, but anyway, I do have to, as part of the retirement plan, cover uh, the taxes. So, in my case, my magic number is $20,000. That will cover all my expenses for the entire year: car insurance, the mortgage for extra $100, all utilities, as well as I've got some money put aside for health care. And so I would definitely take $20,000 out and have no taxes taken out in the year 2026. That's what I'm mostly focused on in this meeting of the Retiring Club, how I'm going to manage the taxes. This year, I work at the stadium. I'm forecast to make $2,700. Going into 2026, I'll probably increase the number of events that I work because now I can work the weekend as well as mostly the weekday events. And I can get down there to all the weekday events now. I don't have to try and rush down there after work because I don't have a job anymore. And that is my job. I will get a W 2, but there's no real taxes taken out other than FICA and a little Georgia state tax. So in my case, I am going to be on the hook for the federal income tax. Now, I did do a little research as someone that's over 62. The first $35,000 that I earn is excluded from Georgia state income tax. I found that out recently. Um, one of my vacations, the lady had mentioned it as I was sitting at the table in the get to know you, as I was talking about I'm retired, and I looked it up. So the first 35,000 is excluded from income tax. I won't have anywhere near that. And then when I turn 65, uh, the first 65,000 is excluded. FICA, I don't have to worry about that. I'm retired. I don't work. I don't have a job anymore. They take a little bit out down at the part-time job, but it's not going to help um, push off old uh, Social Security wages because I'm done. Whatever I report this year, that's it. So now the standard deductions is what we're going to start talking about, and then we're going to calculate some of the taxes to tell you how I'm going to manage it. So for 2025, the standard deduction for a single person is going to be $15,750. So I will work that in with my income for this year. I've already put away $1,000 for any taxes that I owe. Now, just to give you a little background, I have been doing my taxes for a really, really long time. I had a neighbor that was helping me in 1978. She had me come over. She told me go get the booklet, and she made me do my own taxes. And back then, they introduced a 1040 EZ for people who don't have any deductions. For my simulations, I would be able to use the 1040 SR for senior citizens. And in that case, um, if we look at the year 2026, I'm going to deposit $20,000 in my high yield savings to fund all of 2026. I'm going to have $2,700 in income projected from the stadium job. So I would have 22,700 as income. The standard deduction for 2026 for me at 64 years old is going to be $16,100. So if we do the math on that, minus 16,100, I would owe I would have a balance of $6,600. So the standard deduction is going to take that distribution and that W-2 down to $6,600. And that is going to be in the range of 10%. So I'm going to owe $660 for 2026. And that's how I'm going to manage my taxes. I'm going to get out the forms. I'm going to go ahead, plug the numbers in. I'm going to come up with a ballpark number, and then I'm going to look it up in the table. Uh, I've got the taxes at 10% of $660. I'll look it up in the table. It's probably going to come out right about that amount. And then I just have to pay that the next year. So, how is this going to work? So, every year, now that I'm retired, I will be pulling money out of the individual retirement account and depositing into the high yield savings. It'll be flush. And I'll just use the money that's in that account and I'll pay the IRS. I am used to owing taxes because of the extra money I make and things like that. I didn't want to talk about 2025 specifically because I have some overtime from the job at the firm, and I did a distribution of 12,400. So I have to work that, and I have some small businesses that I operate as a sole proprietor. I have some write-offs for that. That's going to change a little bit once I'm in retirement and I don't have the big W-2 income coming in from my full-time job. It's going to be pushed down a lot, and it has to stay down so that I can qualify for ACA. I need ACA in 2026. After that, I go on Medicare. So basically, if we go on further, if you're married, you take that $16,100 for 2026 and you double it, and that would take you up to right around $32,200. And if you are a married person that goes back onto that mortgage payoff, you got that mortgage payoff and you don't need that much money, and your living expenses are 3,100, you'll be able to pretty much pull out of the pre-tax portion of your IRAs or 401ks and pay very, very little taxes. So that's the tax game. It starts with the standard deductions, but it gets better. With the big, beautiful tax bill, we got a gift from Donald Trump. Um, Once I turned 65, and if you were turning 65 this year or next year, your standard deduction is $23,750. That is a game changer because that now will allow me to take out enough money to cover Medicare costs. Medicare is going to run me about $4,000 each year. I factor it in at just about $400 a month, including my MetLife take along as well as VSP eye care. That comes to $4,800 a month. So that's going to help me squeeze in uh, that additional expense of the Medicare. And so going forward, I'll be able to withdraw enough to cover, keep the mortgage going, as well as cover the medical costs and all of that right under the standard deduction where I pay very, very little in taxes. In short, you kind of want to get a little accustomed to paying taxes if you're going to work this game. Um, I don't want to have taxes taken out, um, especially that little pension. It's $222. I need that for I'll use that to additional on my mortgage payment and pocket it, and it could cover the MetLife take along as well as VSP. So That's what I'm going to be doing when it comes to managing taxes. I'll always have some cash reserves to pay if I owe. And I think it's going to be great that I pay very, very little in taxes. Um, no more FICA. State of Georgia, I'll get a reprieve on that. And then I'm going from 22% down to 10%. So the amount of money I need is very, very small. And I feel very fortunate that I can withdraw $20,000 for fiscal year 2026 and pay little in taxes at the end of the year. But I got a whole year to worry about that. But I just wanted to come on and talk a little bit about the other major component, which is your taxes. You don't want to blow off paying your taxes. Um, by me keeping that mortgage, I don't have to worry about the taxes on the property. But eventually, I'll have that. But as I mentioned, I've got a little pension that'll cover that. So that's it on taxes here at the Retiring Club. I'm newly retired. I'm feeling better with the upper respiratory infection. Little lemon tea here, and I just want to wish everybody a great week. It's Tuesday. It's movie week for me, so I'm getting ready to head out and catch me a matinee movie and probably work out at the gym. And I'll be back with you. I'm putting together a presentation on the Affordable Care Act, and I'll probably get that out to you this week. And thanks for watching. My name is John, host of the Retiring Club. And I'm going to go ahead and end this. Please go ahead and subscribe and like, and leave me some comments if you have any other input. Thank you so much.